gonna be honest, this is one of my favorite episodes of SukaSuka. I really like romance series. Romance is one of my favorite genres in anime, and I really just liked that this was kind of like a love story episode. There was constant moments throughout the episode that were just kind of sweet, cheesy, but it was just that cheesy romance that I like to watch, while subtly showing you shit's gonna get sad. Because I think I pretty much know exactly the route they're gonna go. I mean, granted, they could take it in a different direction. We know Catholi is losing herself. We see that her hair is changing, and we know now that the more she uses that ability, the abilities that the leprechauns use, the more it's probably going to change her at least faster. And even though they found a sword that could, in theory, protect her mind from changing, the fact that she's not a leprechaun anymore, I don't think that she'll be able to use that sword and it will be able to save her, or it won't get to her in time. But ultimately, what seems to be happening is the spirit that made Catholi, the one that died, is going to take over her body. Catholi's going to die, and the person who died before is going to be reborn. And I think it's pretty clear that's going to happen. I think it's pretty damn clear that she's losing her memories. I mean, it starts off with her forgetting where the pepper is, and then she forgets that, oh, this is the first time Willem and myself ever went on kind of a one-on-one date. But he's like, no, the first time we ever met, we did this. And she's like, oh yeah, of course, it just didn't have the same feel to it. So she's losing her memories. Eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if she forgets Willem entirely, doesn't know who he is. And I wouldn't even be surprised if they go the route of the season ending. She loses all of her memories. She essentially has a full set of red hair. She doesn't know who Willem is, and he has to make her fall in love with him all over again, essentially a new person, but he's not just going to abandon her because she changed. I feel like that's probably what they're going to do. She's going to we're going to lose Catholi, gain the redhead character. She's going to have no idea who Willem is, and ultimately he's going to have to make this new character fall in love with him the same way Catholi did. I think that's the route they're going to do. Like, I mean, despite them having that sword that in theory could save her memories, we know that sword is probably not going to get to her in time. I think, it's very set up in such a way that she's not going to die. She's just going to lose who she is and become a new person with a whole set of different memories and probably a different personality. And that's going to be hard to watch. It's all about the execution. Even if I'm completely right, even if I got this 100% right, even though if I see this 100% coming, if they get the execution right, Anohana did it perfectly, the execution can make it tier-worthy. It'll be interesting how they handle it. Maybe they'll do something completely unexpected with the entire concept. Maybe it'll just be Willem getting his head cut off. They could do a lot of things with it, but they have a really good foundation to make this shit sad while not feeling overly forced. At least that's how I feel with it. But I just thought it was a very sweet episode, a lot of really cute moments, especially with Catholi getting access to go with Willem, above ground because the first officer thinks that they're kind of a couple, and he's like, oh yeah, Willem, you can have your girl toy with you and she can be your secretary. I know why you want to bring her. I just thought there was constant moments where they get kind of mislabeled as a newlywed couple, and just it's funny because Catholi loves it and Willem likes it too. I mean, he 100% admits that he has feelings for her, but he can't kind of show it just yet. And I liked it. I think, it's very cheesy romance. People may criticize it for that, but for myself, I quite liked it for that. It was just a very sweet episode while constantly reminding you, yeah, she's losing her mind, especially at the very end, and she has a lot of red hair at this point. I think that's how it's going to go. She's going to have a full set of red hair. She's no longer going to be Catholi, a different person who doesn't recognize Willem. That's going to crush him, but he's not going to abandon her, and he's going to try to make her fall in love with her again. I think that's the route they're going to go with. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but that just seems like the logical outcome with what they've laid out. But I will admit, though, the OST in this episode was really good. I enjoyed listening to it. Even when the voice acting wasn't kicking in, there was a good use of soundtrack. And just overall everything about it, even from the visual flair, at the very end when one of the kids is falling from the rooftops, I liked how they animated that. This was just a good episode. I think this is one of my favorite episodes. I really like romance, so it's not surprising that this would be one of my favorite. But they also did a lot to foreshadow the events that have yet to come. This is going to be really interesting to see how the remaining episodes play out. I think, if some people are hating this series, I could get it. There is a lot of kind of cliche moments. There is that cheesy romance, and maybe if you don't like seeing the outcomes a mile away, you want to just kind of have everything to be unexpected, something that's clearly labeling what's going to happen, or to the extent of giving you a pretty good idea of what's going to happen in the coming episodes. This isn't going to be a series for you, but for myself, I liked it. I liked Anohana. I like these types of stories. These kind of shit's going to be sad, and it's kind of building up to that sad reveal, but it's all about that execution. Yes, if the execution is horrible, it's going to make the build up just kind of meh for me, but I have faith that this is going to be a great kind of series overall. Once we get to that heartbreak moment, we know it's coming at this point, at least. They've really layered it in after this episode, so we know we're going to see something bad, but it's just a matter of the execution. But I'm excited to see it. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Did you love the episode? Did you hate it? And what do you think of my theory? Please no spoilers for people who know the source material, but for anime onlys, do you think like I hit the nail on the head, you're thinking the same? Or maybe you have a different theory? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.